Okay, I'm gonna start by clicking the wrong link right away, but hello everybody. Welcome to the Chen's Dynasty. My name is James Chen, and I've got a special guest with me over here. I've got Mr. L.I. Joe. How are you doing, sir?
James is next to me. I'm doing good. What's going on, everybody? First, thank you, Mr. Chen, for having me on. Appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure to talk to you. So excited to be here, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because, like, I was talking to, my editor slash producer. He's like, you should get somebody on to talk about Sagat. Who could you bring on? And I was like, come on, there's only one person I can bring on, and that
I know
is
someone.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
exactly. Now, here is the funny thing. Before we even get started talking about Sagat, his response was like, I thought he was mostly a Urian guy, right? So, obviously Third Strike is your favorite fighting game of all time, in the world and stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Who is your true, like, Street Fighter guy? Is it Sagat or is it Urian?
It's oh damn. If you put the two in front of me, gun to my head, had to pick, I would probably pick Sagat.
Oh,
just because he's been in more games and there's been more iterations of him. So, like, we're able to see him more, and I've been able to play him more in the last 35 years of my life, or however long he's been out for. So, like, I would probably pick Sagat, but if you're talking about just, like, how cool a character is, Urian's kind of cool, man. Like, that character is really cool.
Oh, man. Have you, totally random question, just came to my head.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually cosplayed as Sagat at any point in time?
I've never cosplayed as Sagat, no. I've never cosplayed as Sagat,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, I saw all the memes about you cosplaying as Lex Luthor already, so,
Yeah. That's an easy one. I can go in this closet right here and do it in 10 minutes.
Oh, man. The funniest thing about this whole thing is, like, I asked you to, come and talk and speculate on Sagat, even before we knew that the trailer was dropping. So, like, I was going to ask you questions like, how do you think he'll play? And then Capcom's like, I'm going to give you a little bit more stuff to talk about, okay? Here you go. Yeah. And so just, easiest question. What are your initial thoughts on let's not even talk about gameplay. Let's just talk about how he looks, how he fights, and all that stuff like that. What are your initial reactions to that?
So I will say, like, my initial reactions, honestly, and this is going to sound kind of lame, but it's okay. I kind of got the chills. Like, as it started, and, like, looking at, because I was sitting here, and the one thing is, too, like, I don't really, like, I know people ask about it. I got, like, a lot of things on Twitter. Yo, you're going to do a reaction stream? You're going to do a reaction? Like, I feel like there is something that, and this might be strange, there's something that I lose when I do that. Or it's something that's not, like, and no offense to anyone else that does it. It's great. I think it's awesome that people can watch someone that they look up to or appreciate or whatever the case may be and see how they feel. But to me, like, and this is going to sound crazy, how I feel is how, like, I feel for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, not that I don't mind sharing it. You guys obviously seen me get hype at Evo and all that other kind of stuff with their trailers.
Yeah,
like the CEO Urian. I remember last year when they showed Terry. My Twitter picture is was me jumping in the air when they finally showed Terry like this. So, like, I have no problem. Showing it, but I'm not gonna, like, because I feel like I have to set myself up, turn my stream on, get in front of everybody, and be like, all right, here we go. Again, I think it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But sometimes, like, I just want to do it for me. I just want to be in my solidarity by myself, able to look at it and just take it in for what it is for me. So, sorry for that long-ass, drawn-out answer right there. I just wanted to give you a little side note why I didn't do that stuff, or don't do that, really. But my initial reaction was like the chills. I'm, like, seeing the stage and, like, hearing the music a little bit, like, it's not his theme, but it's got enough of that like Thai sound to it, where it's like, all right, I know where this is going. I like it. I like the stage and things like that. And then, like, seeing him come out. Obviously, we've seen him before, but just, like, the buildup of him coming out, and then, of course, like, the original costume is sick. So I do appreciate the way he is more I'm actually going to give you a little side story after this too. I appreciate the way he's more like Street Fighter 2 looking. He's like a little more lanky, a little tall, a little thinner. You know, like his body's kind of like this. You know, like he's kind of not hunched, but he has like a lot of flavors of the Street Fighter 2 era art. Now, I remember the first character, James Chen, that I saw in Street Fighter Alpha was Sagat. And I remember being like, what the hell happened to this guy? Like, I remember the first thing thinking, like, his legs are huge.
Right.
Why are his legs so thick?
Right.
Like, and not to say that I didn't like it, but that blew my mind when I first saw him in Alpha.
Yeah.
Sorry, you gonna say something?
No, I was just saying, like, I feel the same way. Like, I've always felt like it was wrong for Sagat to be that thick because, like, Muay Thai fighters just don't look like that. You know what I mean?
It's not. Yeah.
And so I love the fact that he's gone back to that thinner, taller style in this game.
Yeah, no, I think it was a great call. I just want to shout them out again. I say it every time as a character. I really feel this in the bottom of my heart. This is not a paid advertisement. I think Street Fighter 6 characters are like the coolest iteration of every character in Street Fighter history.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely feel that way. Like, I really do. I think Chun, it's the coolest Chun I've ever seen. It's the coolest Ken I've ever seen. It's the coolest Ryu I've ever seen.
Dude, DJ,
it's the coolest
right?
Bison I've ever seen. I could keep going. The coolest DJ I've ever seen. Like, there's a couple, like, Cammy's kind of like, yeah, whatever. She does hooligan. She does DP. Like, there's a, but even, like, her stuff is still the stuff that they did with hooligan. Like, it's still cool. Like, every character to me in Street Fighter 6 is the coolest iteration of said character.
Yeah.
And seeing Sagat, like, visually, I might even agree. Like, he looks super cool. Like you said, I love the thin, like, not to rant or say that this is a negative thing about Muay Thai fighters, but they're usually, like you said, taller, thinner, really tight bodies, like zero body fat, just ripped human beings. And that's what Sagat looks like. He looks like a tall, ripped-ass Muay Thai fighter. Dude,
that's why, like, when he did the win pose, that was kind of the throwback to the old art. Like,
yeah, the art.
but that win pose, like, it emphasizes just how, like, lanky and kind of skinny. So as soon as I saw that one, and yeah, I totally know what you mean, because, like, I was doing a live reaction. I was like, oh my God, like, this is the coolest win pose, you know? But it is weird when you have to kind of do that, you know, in front of people. And of course, I'm saying that in front of my own stream, but they know how it is, you know, that, you know, content creation is not exactly my strength, you know, in terms of, like, doing what I need to do to build audiences and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, like, when I saw that win pose, I was just like, yes, like,
beautiful.
He just looks so much more martial artsy, and I mean, my comment was that they Tony Jawed him up, right? Because, like, everything he does is just elbows to the head now and stuff. I mean, he looks brutal, dude. Like, he looks like he's straight up killing you now.
Yeah, he looks like everything. This is also a big thing about, like, the way I like characters too. I like characters. I'm very big on, like, visual and sound and stuff like that, and action. That's actually why I really liked Nash, because, like, not that I have any, like, I don't want to say care, but I've never used Nash or Charlie in any other game in my entire life. But I was like, damn, he looks cool. And I'm like, damn, he sounds cool. Like, that's really what draws me to a character. It's good that sometimes those characters are the best characters in the game. It's worked in my favor a couple of times. But or, you know, like, the top characters, whatever you want to call it. But for the most part, like, that's the stuff that draws me to the character. So the first thing I was thinking about is, I'm still thinking about it now, I want to hear the Japanese voice. And Javits, shout out to my boy Javits, apparently the Japanese voice actor is the same voice actor, fact checked us, the same voice actor as Street Fighter 4. And I love Sagat's voice in Street Fighter 4.
So it was different between 4 and 5 then, for the Japanese voice?
I'm not sure. I think so. I could totally be wrong, but I know that apparently Javis told me the 4 voice actor is the 6 voice actor. So I cannot wait to hear what he sounds like with a Japanese voice. Not that I mind the American voice, but just want to, again, sound and, like, action is huge for me. So like you said, seeing Sagat actually be a Muay Thai fighter, not just doing, like, tiger knee and his throw that I guess was kind of Muay Thai-ish.
Right.
Dude, he has right? Like what is Muay Thai about Sagat besides I guess a couple of normals, right? You know, like there's not really much that screams it. I mean, I guess you could look at him and say he's got the shorts on. But when you take into consideration what they gave him in this game, dude, like he does the Thai clench and stuff, dude. Like he's kneeing you, like you said, he's elbowing, he's kicking. I love the fact that his level 3, I think it's his level 3, where the camera purposely goes to his leg. It's like, yes, he's kicking the shit out of his leg.
He's breaking their, like, you see like Bison's leg is like bending in the wrong direction.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I don't want to see him do this to like Lily, you know? Like this is just I'm like this is gonna be kind of brutal here. So
and like I feel again that just how in touch with, I gotta say it again, how in touch everyone is over at Capcom to like make these things, like make these characters and make all these cool little things. Like why the hell would that be his win pose?
Oh, what, where he almost so elbows you and then doesn't, or the standing kick.
I'm just kind of like bringing it back to like how good they handle this game.
Oh, right.
Like,
okay.
Why would they make that his win pose? Like, and just the fact that they did something like, let's make him kick the shit out of the leg because that's what Muay Thai fighters do. It's just they're just so in touch with what they want to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I just think it's so cool. Like even from Terry playing in Neo, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like they have such a good pulse, man, on what they want to do and what also makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that even like characters burnout states, how they're like it's their Street Fighter 2 animation. Like, why would you do that? That's the coolest thing in the world. Why would you do that?
I was just saying on my stream yesterday, like a lot of people didn't know, but when you recover from burnout, you know, you have like that little cool little, and they do like a little animation, and there's a different one for if you're standing or if you're crouching. Like they have two different recovery animations for every character, and it's like, yeah, they've just done so, and it's funny too because I think this is one of the reasons why I know like you and I get along really well, because I think we kind of approach a lot of these things the same, because I'm the same way. Like I love the lore and, you know, I love the feel. I pick characters kind of through emotion and stuff, and it's funny too because even when Terry's playing the Neo Geo machine, at some point you see him mashing. Because Olaf told me apparently part of the Terry lore is he's supposed to be really bad at video games. And so like, so I'm wondering if they did that on purpose, you know,
honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I wouldn't put it past them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just like you said, man, just the way that whoever over there is sitting at the round table figuring this stuff out and saying, put that in the game, hats off, man. Hats off. Because I know it's silly, but to have those moments, like we didn't get those moments for a long time, you know, and now that we're getting those moments again, these small things that just like, it's not necessary, but it's still really cool that it's in there. So all those things, like again, just the way Sagat's fighting, the way he's looked, kind of throwback to SF2, all the small things that they do with his win pose and all the other things in the game, like it's just so cool, man. It's so cool.
I mean, I really honestly do give a lot of that credit to like Nakayama and Matsumoto-san, right? Because like
those two guys are genius.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like I remember at one of the Capcom Cups when it was in LA, like I actually played against them on one of those arcade cabinets, and it's like they know how to play Street Fighter. They're good, you know, like they play really well and everything. And I don't know if you remember like those Harada round tables, like when Matsumoto was on there. Like he pulled out like all of his like, you know, animation cell things from the Street Fighter movie. He's like, I got this before I joined Capcom. And, you know, they asked him who his favorite like non-Capcom character was. And he mentioned like Kenso from KOF and stuff. Like they're really knowledgeable about fighting games, and it really shows, honestly.
Yeah, they're fans, man. They're fans. You can see it. Like these guys love the genre, and now they're making, you know, a great game within the genre. That's got to be awesome for them. God bless those guys. Thank God for those two, by the way.
I mean, it's
Thank
funny.
God for those two.
Seriously, honestly, like I give them so much credit for a lot of what's going on with Street Fighter. Also, you know, like Matsumoto bringing in a lot of that hip hop culture into the game as well, right? So I mean, it's funny.
He loves that stuff. Yeah, his Instagram is full of like New York street rap, graffiti, and all like, yeah, it's cool, man. Like, oh, this guy's down. I like that.
Yeah, it's really funny because like when they first showed the costume fours and Cammy's in that bikini and everything like that, like the first thing I noticed was her hat because I was like, I've seen her with this hat before. Like, where was this from? And I remember the old Kino Nishimura art, and I was like, oh my God. And I pulled it up and I'm like, that's the exact same costume, And one of my friends were like, the first thing you noticed was the hat? He's like, James, what's wrong with you? And I was like, sorry.
Sorry, guys. We're not gooning 24/7.
Yeah,
My
right.
bad, bro.
Exactly. But I mean, the other cool thing about this too, because we're talking about like character, we like the lore, we like the personality and attitude. One of the things that's been really cool about Street Fighter 6 is like, this is the first time that a lot of these characters have actually had personalities, beyond, just what we know about them. And, my hope, like even before Sagat was announced for season 3, I was like, if Sagat ever comes back, right, I kind of really want him to be like almost maybe an anti-hero, but almost more like a protagonist now because, he's left Shadaloo and he's like, wait, Bison's...
Shadaloo,
yeah, he's poisoned my mind and stuff. So I was hoping he would show up in this one and, like even be like, hey, Ryu, let's spar, good friend, kind of thing like that, right?
Yeah.
And, obviously the background, he's with all these children and everything like that, so it seems like he's definitely turning over.
That's actually a good call. I didn't put that together, actually, like him hanging out with the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together, yeah.
And even in the final win pose, like he does that JP thing where it looks like he's about to elbow you, like in the head.
And he's like this.
He's like, no, like I shouldn't do that anymore. So it seems like he's trying to hold back that rage, but then he also breaks your leg by, just like,
yeah.
I guess old habits die hard for Sagat, so.
Yeah, that's actually a really good call. That would be sick. That kind of reminds me of KOF 97 stuff where Kyo and Iori had to come together with Chizuru to beat Orochi, but that's some other nerd stuff we'll talk about a different time. But yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of, like Ken and Sagat Ryu coming together, like, all right, let's just do this one thing together and then we'll see what happens afterwards.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just think that was kind of what I was hoping for, and I hope that's kind of how they play it out. Even in the blog that they put out, they were saying like the main storyline is that because Bison has amnesia, he had forgotten that Sagat left Shadaloo, so he's trying to re-recruit him. And
I know that.
Yeah, so cool. I'm really curious to see how that's gonna play out. So. But again, I'm just happy
I just knew that he was like in the mountains training. It was like, yeah, he left Shadaloo and now Sagat's just training in the mountains like a savage, which is wonderful.
I just think it's funny. Like I was speculating on my stream yesterday. I was just like, did he just set up camp next to the Buddha statue? Like, I gotta imagine that's like a national treasure, and he's like, my home is here now. Sorry, you know.
Yep. I just live right behind the statue. I'll be right there.
So yeah, I mean, either that or he used the Shadaloo money to buy the statue or something, and he's just like, yeah. But I mean, just the fighting style obviously looks really, really cool, and he's like I said, I'm just curious to see how they're gonna do the personality stuff, but. Let's talk about the gameplay, right? And let's go straight into the elephant in the room over here, because I know I've seen a lot.
I got a few elephants, James. Hold on, I got a few elephants. But let's see which one you want to talk about first.
And we gotta protect them all, like Tony Jaa in The Protector, right?
Absolutely.
You know, he's got to protect all the elephants. Yeah. So obviously. One of the major things that we found out about him through the blog is, and the thing that I've heard a lot of Sagat players be like, oh, I don't know if I want to play him anymore, is the tiger shots, right? It's heavy and medium punch for different speed high tigers, and then light punch for only one speed for low. So
I'm gonna be honest, James. When I read it, I thought it was a typo. I'm like, they didn't mean to do that. I swear on everything that I love. When I read the post, I'm like, oh, that's a typo. That's the first thing I thought of. I said, light punch, not a typo. But then I'm like, hold on. This is legit. And most likely, not blaming it, but I feel like it had to be that way because of modern controls.
Yes. And that's what I think is modern controls, and not only that, but...
Just guessing.
Also, because World Tour as well, right? Because you know how your avatar, you can assign all the special moves.
Yes.
You can't have
Correct,
two things
correct,
with
correct.
quarter circle forward. And so if you had a high and a low,
Yeah.
you can't equip somebody with both of those, right? So actually, now that I think about it,
Good points.
if you have a short character and you throw a high tiger, can people crouch under it still? Anyways,
Probably.
just thinking about that. So I mean, is there a lot of concern for
Yeah.
that? Because before we even got these videos, one of the questions that I was going to ask you, you know, before we even knew we were getting this trailer was, you know, like, do you want him to go back to like traditional zoning, and do you think that they could pull it off? And I feel like with only those 3 fireballs, it's going to be a lot harder to do the zoning, right?
Yeah, for 1,000%. When my initial want for Sagat before we saw him was to give him a little bit more flavor, and I think they did that.
Yes.
I was hoping for something along the lines, maybe not too drastic, but I was like, what if he's really old now? Like old ass Sagat, where like he's old to the, because this is after Third Strike,
Right.
which is this is the oldest Street Fighter in the timeline. And I was like, what if he's like super old, where he's like an old Muay Thai master, where his movements are more controlled and quick as opposed to like loud and furious, you know?
Right.
So they didn't do that, but they still gave him enough flair where I'm like, all right, this is cool. They updated him enough to where it seems like he has new tools instead of just a couple of nice kick buttons, some fireball, the tiger knee, and the DP, you know?
Right.
So like they certainly did that for him. But my concern was always, how good have projectiles been in general since, yeah, I don't want to say 4, but Sagat's projectiles were really good in 4, obviously. But like 5, there were so many ways around projectiles. Like I feel like everyone had like having a projectile was almost a detriment in 5. So, not all the time, but somewhat.
I mean, I just want to say, when Street Fighter V, when Sagat dropped in Street Fighter V, I started playing him, you know, just to test him out, and it felt really good because I was like, oh, I just got this fireball uppercut game, you know, I don't have to worry about the frame data, I could just go. And then I fought a G and I threw fireballs. He's like, absorb, 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 and he gained all of his V gauge, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I don't know what to do with this character anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And it could be, it was, yeah, it's hard for projectile characters these days, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. But in 6, I feel like even though there is a parry, I just think that they are better in 6 than they were in 5 thus far. Like, it actually pays to use projectiles somewhat more in this game. I just don't know if they can't build Sagat around that. I don't think, and I also don't think they did, which is why, like, I'm sure we'll get into where it looks like I don't want to say that they leaned into the Jinrai gimmick,
right?
But if you look at what he's able to do with, I'm just going to call it Jinrai, but I forgot what it's called. There's a name, Tiger Nexus.
Yeah, Tiger
like
Nexus.
I think it's Nexus, right?
Yeah,
so I'm just going to say Nexus. So like, it seems to me that like you will be able to have a fireball DP game because you can't take that away. It's like Ryu not having a fireball DP, but Ryu has other things that complement him in 6, like his Hosugeki stuff, his Denjin stuff.
Yes.
You know, all that stuff it's got to be like taken into consideration when you're looking at the whole character, not just like, oh, he has a fireball DP. That's not like, that doesn't cut it anymore. So there has to be more to the character.
Yeah.
And I think Sagat has that with, you know, whatever the Nexus stuff is gonna allow him to do, allow him to play like, you know, because they said he has an overhead, right?
Yeah.
He has the up one is plus. So your plus, how far is pushback? Like, there's a lot of questions. Like, can I do this? And am I in your face for a throw?
Right.
Is that free shimmy? You know, like, those are the things you have to ask. And that's what I get, like, not that I get mad, but I feel like some people just jump to the conclusion, like, this is either good or it's bad based on a trailer that was 3 minutes long, where you don't really know. You know, you really have to take into consideration, like, what is a fighting game is based around, it's mental chess, right? It's like mental chess. So if you have a move that lets you be plus, you're already in an advantage. but your advantage can be swayed as to how far you are after plus. What do normals do? Can I whiff punish? Can I walk back after, like, can I throw? There's 1,000 things you have to ask yourself before you say that's good or that's bad.
Dude.
That's why I always just keep my mouth shut until I can touch the stick and move the character. I'm gonna say he looks sick. He looks, but
you would actually wait until you get your hands on a character before you come to conclusions? No, I mean,
call me old fashioned. Call me old fashioned, James.
Because
call me old fashioned.
Yeah. As soon as I saw the Tiger Nexus stuff, the first thing that came to my mind is, okay, he's got the high one that's plus, but you can crouch under it, and he's got the overhead, and I was like, can you fuzzy this, right? Like, that's the first thing. Like, you don't even know if it's good or not until, like, if the high one is at a much quicker timing than the overhead, even just from the startup animation of it, like, then it's not going to be that useful, right? Like, and I feel like people don't talk about this. And, when you talk about people getting all mad just based off of trailers, like I remember when the Elena trailer came out, and I was just like yelling on Twitter. I was like, healing is not going to be good in this game. And everyone's like, oh, she has healing, she's broken. And I was like, dude, like, it was her ultra in Street Fighter 4. You could do it over and over and over again. In Third Strike, like, you only used it on Hugo because you could like run away from him, but it was her worst super, like. Yeah. God.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not, especially like, do you really think they're going to make the same mistake again? Like, oh, they're going to do that again. Come on, guys. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't even.
Yeah. God, it drives me nuts. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions. I remember even when I was analyzing his trailer, I asked a lot of the same questions. I was like, okay, so if you block this one and you're plus, it depends on how far away you are. Can you throw them? Or is it going to be, like, there's so much subtlety to balancing a character. It's just not just, hey, this move exists, right?
That's not how it works.
I always tell, like, the famous story that I always tell was during the vanilla Street Fighter 4. Remember how Sanford got top 8 at EVO and everyone's like, oh, that's how you play Cammy, right? Like, and not a lot of us really understood how to play Cammy very well. Like, there were people in the chat, this might have even been after that, which would make it even crazier, but like, someone on the Cammy forums on Shoryuken.com, shout out to Shoryuken.com, that was like, Cammy's Tiger Knee Cannon Strike should be an overhead. And I was like, what? I was like, what? Wait, hang on. Like, you do realize you've just turned her into the best character in the game, right? Like, you do realize you've done that, right? And he was like, no.
Yeah, borderline broken. Like, bannable offense right there. Bannable offense.
Man, and I like Seth used to always talk about that too, right? He was just like, you change one small thing to like Guile and Ibuki becomes the best character in the game, and you're like, what even happened here,
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's a lot of stuff that people in general. And look, I don't know if people are serious or maybe they just want to make noise on social media because it's fun and it's cool, but like, I don't think a lot of that is taken into consideration or at least taken seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I think you just said it the best. Like, you could change one thing about one character, but that could sway 4 other characters because of just frame data alone.
Yep.
You can change something 2 frames and the scale has tipped for 4 other characters.
Yeah.
Like, it really is like a very, very monotonous and particular process to balance the game. I hope people really do understand it, and they're just being jackasses online. I want to give people more credit than that. Please just be acting like a jackass. You don't really mean the things you say. Come on.
I mean, a lot of it, obviously is kind of, clickbaity here and there and stuff. And a little bit of it too. I mean, again, like, I don't know if you saw the recent drama with Nee, the Tekken player and stuff. Basically, the latest patch came out and he felt like his character, Brian, got nerfed more than Anna and Nina. But, regardless of whether that's true or not, his whole point was like, all these other top players just kept crying about Brian and he got nerfed. And he's like, I never wanted to do this, but, apparently it works. So Nina and Anna are broken. Nina and Anna are broken. So like he started going into that, and it was like this whole drama because people were like, that's so unprofessional and blah. And I was like, bro, like these players are trying to make a living, dude. Like if that works, that works, you know. Like, but
yeah, that's also a really good point. Like seeing it through the lens of someone that does this for a living is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like. I said that right before this patch came out. I remember making the tweet. And I was like, people's livelihood are about to be uploaded, either make or break right now when this patch comes out. Like their livelihood is dependent on patch notes. What a crazy thought. It's still cool. God bless the people that can do it, bro. God bless them. I wish I had it in me to do, but I don't. But the people that do, like, God bless them. I think it's cool that we're at that point where we can think like that, but it's still very scary.
Dude, I didn't even think about that, but like a PDF or a web page, and just looking at that, it could change your life.
www.streetfighter.com.
Oh my God.
It can ruin your livelihood.
Dude, that's crazy. And the crazy thing too is, like, you know, you talk to a lot of people, and look, like we established early on, your favorite fighting game of all time, Third Strike, right? My favorite fighting game of all time, probably to play at least, is Super Turbo. My favorite fighting game of all time is probably one of the Darkstalkers games, but I'm bad at those games. But to play, like, is Super Turbo. The thing about it is, like, people are like, oh my gosh, these games are so bad today, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, if Third Strike or Super Turbo came out today and had $1 million on the line, dude, do you know the kind of crying we would hear on the internet about those games?
You would not be able to pick Claw. You would not be able to pick Claw. That would be immediately.
He'd be banned.
You would ban Claw. You wouldn't be able to do Chun-Li's super glitch. They would say you can't do that. That's a glitch. You can't do it.
ban Ganajin, you know, and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'd be like, you can't pick Yun level Ganajin. You could only do Chun-Li's super once, even though you have 2 bars. There would be like the stupidest rules in the entire world.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, you know, I miss, you know, the old days, you know, where we did just kind of play and didn't think about patches and tried to do our best. And so you have things like Co-op Cup with the 5 Remy's, you know, beating up everybody, even though Remy is actually ass. Like, people can talk about it all they want. That character is bad. Like,
that character is trash.
Yeah, don't let anybody fool you into thinking, you know, and it's cool. But again, these days with so much money on the line, and not only that, they're trying to sell a product. If you... I mean, look what happened when UMVC3 made that retro game thing at EVO, right? Like, we all love that game, but then the finals was like Zero May Cry, Zero May Cry, Zero May Cry, which is weirdly an anomaly because usually that doesn't happen in Marvel, but when it's at EVO, like, obviously the strongest teams are going to do well, and everybody in the chat was like, this is what everybody was hyped about? This is boring. Like, this is like the same characters over and over again, you know, and it's...
Yeah, I want to connect this to something, if you don't mind. I know we're not even talking about Sagat at all right now, but this is, I want to connect this to something, and I want to bring this up to where it is scary, and it is a little bit unfortunate because, like, kind of sort of back in the day, we used to just play. I don't want to be old guy, 40-year-old fighting game player yelling at the clouds. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just trying to connect the dots here. Like, this is one of the faults of, and not that it's a fault, I think the game is actually fire, is City of the Wolves. City of the Wolves falls into this, I think, because they came out of the gate, this is $1 million game, this is that. When you're playing for $1 million, you were not picking Tizok. You were not picking Tizok. I'm sorry. You're not. You're not picking Mai. You're not doing it. Like, you're not doing it. You're not. You're picking Kind. You're picking Hakoda Maru. You're like Billy. Besides Dark Angel. Like, this is what you're doing because you know what, dude? Because that's what it. Dude. Regardless of anything, tiers are real. All right. I hate to break it to anybody out there. There are tiers. They do exist. Like, it's a real thing. So when you're looking at the ability to play, dude, if I had a job, right? If I was going to fill out a job application and they were like, you need to program. You can either use this this DOS computer from '87, or you can have this computer that we're going to put together to you right now for $4,000.
Right.
What computer are you going to take? You're going to take the one that's $4,000.
Right.
And that's what these players are doing. They're like, all right, let me look at my chances.
Right.
What fits my play style? Oh, this character is one of the best characters in the game. I'm picking that character because you're playing to change your life.
Yes.
You're not playing in an arcade anymore. Like, you're not playing in an arcade for quarters. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm Remy, I can beat this Ken player. Watch me take this guy's 25 cents. Like, it's not about that anymore. And I think, again, City of the Wolves I think that almost it's such a catch-22, because I really genuinely do think the game is awesome. That is not a joke.
Yes.
I think that game is incredible. I watched the finals on my phone in the city, on the train, at dinner. I'm like, yo, I gotta watch this shit.
Dude,
So I was watching
it while I was driving. Like I don't, not to like expose my dangerous driving here, but like I literally had it on, while I was driving home from somewhere, dude.
So yeah, but like as you said, it kind of hurt the game a little bit, because that's what you see, like people talking about Marvel 3. Like, they're playing to win Evo. Like, if you know someone that has a Zero May Cry, they're going to pick Zero May Cry. If someone is playing City of the Wolves for $1 million, and the game came out, what, 4 months ago? Right? 4 months ago?
And that's an important thing, too, because EWC was literally right around the corner, right? So you're going to pick the character that's going to make you win the most, right? If it was a year later...
You got to look at your chances.
Yeah. If it was like a year later, maybe we would have gotten a couple of people who have like found the new Janae tech, or I'm sorry, B Jenny tech, and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Something might develop for sure, but when you have that much time, everyone's jumping right to what they think they can win with. And you know what, dude? Like, I don't blame them. Unfortunately, though, it seems like from a viewer perspective, people, like you said, oh, look, it's Kain, Hokodamaro, and Hotaru over and over and over again. Like it's. I understand that from like a viewer perspective, but like, you got to put yourself in the player's shoes and understand what they're playing for nowadays. Again, it's a totally different beast.
Yeah, and another thing too, and I think a lot of this just comes from the fact that, sorry to say this, but we kind of old now, so we know how the world works too. I was just arguing with somebody on Twitter, literally just earlier today. They were like, I hate the patches. Like, there's too many patches. Look at MVC2. Like, we're still learning. The problem is that, one, you want to be fair. Everybody's got to be able to have a chance to win despite what character they pick. And two, also, this is still a product that Capcom is trying to sell. And so if the finals are just like my, and my, right? I mean, remember the famous story at CEO where Tanya was like 6 out of the top 8.
MK.
And Ed Boon was at that event, and as soon as it ended, I heard he literally just got up and called someone, was like, we have to nerf Tanya before Evo. Because, it just doesn't look good, right? And so...
Of course not. Yeah, of course not.
You gotta balance the games, so balance is very important. And sure, from the eras that we played, balance is not the most important thing, and in fact, people like me, I gravitated towards the bad characters because I liked being able to make up stuff for them because everybody already knew how to use everybody else. And, it was the option select thing, right? Like, if I beat you with a bad character, I'm like, haha, sucker, look at you, you suck. Yeah. And if I lose, I'm like, but my character's shitty anyway. I'm supposed to lose, so.
Yeah. You got the built-in OS right there, the built-in OS.
Yep. Oh, man, I've lived off of that OS and Super Turbo forever, until people like Silent Scope started winning with Cammy. I'm like, come on, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how different it is. But, if you, like you said, it's very easy, and I've seen it so many times of like the old school players, like, I hate the esports thing, I hate this, and it's ruining fighting games and stuff. But like, it's not, it's really not.
It's listen, I'm old, James. I just turned 40 years old.
God,
I'm in my 40s.
You're a baby.
I've been playing fighting games since, truly, no joke, Fatal Fury and Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Not a joke. Those are the 2 games I started playing in the 7-Eleven around the corner from my house. We were playing fighting games before the term FGC was a thing. It wasn't even a thing. It was just we played fighting games. Like, that's all it was. There is no way in hell I would ever go and say that esports is ruining fighting games. Now, hold on. I got a little caveat.
Right.
Small caveat to this. There's a small caveat to this. Esports is making fighting games more accessible, more watched, probably making the games more money than, and the players more money than history. But we have to tread careful at what we sacrifice for that. We have to be careful of what we sacrifice for that. Like, don't forget that, and I hate, again, I feel like I sound like an old guy, but I am an old guy. Like, we came from an era, and as long as we can still have events where we can still be and live in that era sometimes, I think that's important to, like, preserve that. Like, that is what made us, and I don't think we should lose that for anything. Granted, again, when you're playing under the guise of a different tournament, you're going to have to play and accommodate by their rules, right? That's just what it is. You know, it's kind of like when you walk in a store, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Right? Yeah.
In some stores, you can walk in and not have a shirt on and buy a drink. In some 7-Elevens, you need to be dressed. you go under the guise of the event that you're going to play in. So if they have their rules, we follow their rules. But as long as there are people out there that are still supporting the scene as more of a grassroots thing, and we can always shine light on that, we cannot lose that, no matter what. No matter how much money, no matter how many lights and dollar signs get thrown in front of an ad, like, we cannot lose that, because that's really why we got to where we were. We made enough noise for years being this tight little knit scene, and now look where we are. Right. So we can't turn our back on that. Sorry for my old man rant.
No.
I mean, that's the last one I'll do. I promise.
I'm gonna continue your rant here, because, you know, I feel very much similar, and in fact, you know, a lot of people have said, James, you know, like, obviously there's not a lot of money in you know, esports and FGC. Just go get a day job again, and I probably should. But, like, I
hold on, they might be right.
I mean, no, they are right. You know, I'm just stubborn right now. But, you know, the whole thing, the point is, like, I feel like I don't want to leave the FGC, because I don't know if there's a lot of people out there that are still trying to preserve that old mindset, right? And I'm not talking about let's go back to, you know, being grimy arcade players or whatever, but, like, the concept of that I always say is the most important coming from the arcade was that if you put your quarter up on that monitor, you were allowed to play.
You're going to say open bracket, right?
Yeah.
You're going to say open bracket, right?
So open bracket. If you put your quarter up, even if you were a stranger walking into an arcade, full of, like, close-knit guys, like, if you put the quarter up, they weren't like, get out of here, you're not allowed to play. They always just looked at you, and their goal was to beat you down so badly that you would leave depressed, basically, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
But the thing about it was, like, it's interesting because part of the arcade culture is, you know, let's say I did put a quarter up and I got beat down by those guys, right? If I come back and put another quarter up and get beat down again, and I put another quarter up and get beat down again, even the players who are like, you're like this stranger and, like, get out of here, are like, he's trying, you know, like, there's, like, this respect, and you come back again, like, you just moved in the neighborhood, you come back and you keep coming back, and it's just weird because eventually when they see how hard you're playing, you know, eventually they might even be like, dude, kid, like, you're always doing this and this is getting you killed, like, stop doing this. And if they see you improve, like, you just become part of that whole scene. You become one of those guys. And, you know,
I am going to give you a story, James. I'm going to give you a true life story of this exactly. Okay. Also, nothing to do with Sagat still. Who cares about Sagat anymore? Still not talking about Sagat. But when I started playing fighting games, I played on Long Island. I was not allowed to go to the city because I was 4 years old, and my dad would never take me to the city. By the time I got old enough to go to the city into Chinatown Fair to play, I was 14.
Okay.
It was 2001. Was I 14? However old I was in 2001.
Okay.
My first time walking through those doors was 2001 because they had KOF 2000 and KOF 2001. So I know it was 2000. Those are the two new games that were there. And guess what I started doing? I said, you know what game I want to play? Third Strike. I've always seen it. I remember getting it on Dreamcast. I remember having it like at our local malls. They had like Second Impact, but not Third Strike. And then I went there to play KOF, and I was like, I'm going to play this game instead. And people like Justin, and people like Sanford, and people like Arturo. Sorry, had to say it.
Yeah,
but people like all of these people that were there, they accepted me. I became friends with Justin because I didn't stop trying to win.
Right.
I went and I put my quarter up. And I used to win on Long Island. When I went to Chinatown Fair, all I did was lose. All I did was lose.
Yep,
Every person in that building beat the shit out of me in every game I wanted to play. But I consistently put my quarter down and consistently got on the train and consistently cut school. Don't cut school, kids. Consistently cut school. Consistently stole quarters out of my dad's jar so I can play in Chinatown. Consistently didn't eat lunch so I had an extra $5 in my pocket so I could get to the city. Consistently did all this shit and I was accepted. You know, like I wasn't from there. The CF was going on for years. Henry Sen has been going to Chinatown before I was born, probably.
Right.
And Henry Sen, they all accepted me because I tried, and I wasn't the best, but I got really good. I wasn't good when I started, but I got really good. But like you said, they accepted me. They said, "Dude, stop doing that. Like, you're putting your quarter up. Can you just at least stop jumping?"
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop jumping.
Right.
But just like, and that's it. And that's how it happened. You just told truly the story of my life.
That's
like
so
I would
funny.
not be. I'm not even kidding. If it wasn't for me going to CF, nothing that is happening right now in my life would have happened. I would have just had a regular day job. But absolutely everything. I came, like you said, James. I put my quarter down and I got accepted. That's it.
Oh man, like I actually teared up, dude, like during that story, seriously, because I mean, I talk about this so much, you know, and you know, to be fair, we're both kind of lucky because we were in major metropolitan areas, so we had the ability to have arcades with a lot of good players and stuff.
For sure, yes.
You know, I don't want to disregard that, but again, like to me, like I've been preaching this for like the last few years now. Fighting games are a social genre. They're not meant for you to sit at home on ranked and just grind and watch your numbers go up and down. Because that's not how. Like, if Street Fighter 2 came out today with modern graphics and all that stuff like that, it would not be a phenomenon today because you would play it and you'd just be like, I hate this, I can't win, and you'd be done. Right, but the arcade culture made it different, and you know that's so you know like we were talking about, you know, trying to make sure we don't lose that, the open bracket tournaments, for example, right? And like even though like I'm always like, you know, fighting for, you know, woke causes and stuff like that, you know, I don't want the trash talk to go away and stuff, you know, and I always use I forget, you didn't watch a lot of basketball, right? I think I've asked you this before. But inside the NBA on TNT, like when it was like Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and Shaq and all those guys.
I know that. Yeah.
Like all they would do was just talk shit to each other all day, and like, you know, a replay would be happening. They're not even talking about the recap. They're just like, you know, insulting each other, making jokes. They started the whole go fishing meme, like, oh, you know, you get eliminated from the playoffs, you're going fishing, to the point where like when players would stave off an elimination game, they were like, tell Charles and Kenny that we ain't going fishing yet, you know, like they created memes and stuff. And like, that's kind of what, like, I kind of want, because these are guys all dressed in suits and ties, but they're all just being like, just, you know, jerks and idiots to each other because they're friends, you know, and that's a culture that absolutely can be preserved, you know. So, and I feel like the FGC can achieve that very easily.
Yeah, I actually, I don't mean to give you another story, but two prominent players, Combo Fiend and Bucktooth. When I were in the Street Fighter Cross Tekken days, I don't know why I was there. I was playing in Combo Fiend's house. I don't remember why I was there, but I remember Combo Fiend telling me that he used to play CBS2 with Bucktooth, and they would play to the point where like they would be like, you know, hitting the stick, sucking teeth, like talking shit to each other, and they were good friends.
Yeah.
But that made them better. Like that's how they got better. 'Cause even though they were friends, they refused to lose to each other.
Dude.
And that built not only a rivalry, but it made them some of the best CBS2 players in the world.
Right.
Like, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, obviously we didn't do this enough. Otherwise, I probably would have been a lot better at the game. But me and one of my old school friends, you know, who used to play hyper fighting and all this stuff, I've known him so long and stuff. We used to get together to play Guilty Gear XX. And we would play every version of Guilty Gear XX, and it was always, I'd show up at his place at 11 a.m. when I used to be able to wake up at a decent time, you know, like I would show up, we would like go grab lunch, and then we'd sit down and we'd just start playing. And I swear we would go all the way to like 7, we'd go eat dinner, we'd come back, and we'd just keep playing all the way till 11. And by the time we were done, like if I got up, my legs like hurt because they like atrophied from sitting in the same place. And the funniest thing about it is, I mean, everybody's seen it. When I get angry, I get loud, right? I just start complaining about this character sucks. Like, why is this character so bad? And my friend, when he got angry, he got bizarrely quiet. And so like by the end of the night, I'm the only one talking because I'm like, this is so dumb. And he's just like, fucking hate Johnny, you know, like, you know, in his mind, you know? And yeah, like we would get so mad at each other, but like, then we'd be like, all right, good shit, you know, and that's it. And it's like, we had great times. And man, like, yeah, it's just playing with somebody else is just so important in this game.
Yes. Yeah, two things that you brought up before. The idea of having an open bracket where anyone and anyone can come up and play some of the best people in the world, that needs to forever be preserved. Like you said, it's part of the culture that made us.
Yes.
The ability that you could just go in somewhere, put the quarter up, no matter who you are, where you're from, nothing else matters besides if you had a quarter. If you had a quarter, you were playing. That's it. Like there wasn't a single other thing that mattered. You had a quarter, you could play. Done.
And can I just interject here really quick? That was also super important to one of the things that has always made the FGC great to me is that it had no economic barrier, right? It's like everybody could play and that spurred you to get better because like if you were one of the best and you had no money, well, if you never lost, you weren't spending any of the money, right? Like you could play for like an hour on a quarter if you were kicking everybody's butt. And so like you would just go to these arcades. And so that's why, you know, like in the Southern Hills Gulfland regions, why, you know, Vi got really good. A lot of like, you know, economically, I guess, you know, like a lot of ethnicities that are not as well economically, you know, in general, right? Obviously, I'm not trying to.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, like, so we would see a lot of different, like, we would get like a lot of the black community there. We get a lot of the Vietnamese community there. We would get a lot of the, you know, Korean community, Chinese, and all. Like, we would get the whole gamut. And at Chinatown Fair, I'm sure it was exactly the same. And like, that's super important to me, you know, when we're reaching a point where it's like, well, I need to buy a $4,000 PC to have the best lag, you know, display lag possible or whatever like that. I get concerned, you know?
Yeah.
So honestly,
No,
like
all
go
good
ahead.
points. No, I was just going to say all good points. And I agree with you 100%. I think those are things that we just cannot lose, you know, as great as esports is and as great as a handful of the players have been able to be treated, and not even players, you got streamers, you got people that are doing commentary, it actually opened up careers for people, you know, that did not have a career, you know, that didn't have a thing to do. Now you got people that are truly living off this, and I think that's the dream, right? Like, what is the dream? Is that not the dream? It's certainly part of the dream to be able to live off of what you love and what you have passion for. Like that is it, man. And a lot of esports things, again, like they have granted us the ability to do that, but I never want us to lose the idea of being able to have an open bracket. Anyone can play. You walk in, I'm shoulder. I could smell the laundry detergent on you. Like that is how close you are to me. Like that is a true part of what made us the people that we are. And I feel like we're doing pretty well, because at least in that aspect, like when you talk about like league and other things, like you can't go play against the best league player in the world. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
I don't know if it is. I feel like it's not a thing.
I mean,
I
think it was Olaf who was telling me the story, like at one Evo, like he had to fight Bonchan like first round or something like that, right? And it's just like, that's so cool. You get to fight Bonchan, right? I mean, seriously. And what was I gonna say? So kind of shifting a little bit here, but talking about the same thing. Tell me, Joe, if you think that this is a good idea, because I have been trying to solve this problem forever. And so the one thing that I want to see in a fighting game is I want to see something called group ranked, right? Where you're playing in the exact same ranked as everybody else. So it's not like a special league or anything like that, and you don't have to create a club, you don't have to create a guild or anything like that. It's just, hey, do you want to come and join me in my group ranked? And what happens is that everybody who's in there just rotates playing a ranked match, and the other two watch. And they can't play at the same time. And if the person you're watching wins, you gain a few points. If they lose, you lose nothing. So you just gain a few points. And so then you're like, stop jumping, like you start doing that kind of stuff. And then, if you don't play your match, if you skip your turn, you don't earn those points that you got for watching, just to prevent people from being like, hey, punk, put me in your group and skip me, like kind of things like that. Yeah. But I just like, that's the kind of thing I want to bring back, right? To create this kind of social aspect of fighting games. Because one of the best things about the arcade is that it forced you to watch. It forced you to watch. And you learn, like, I always joke, like, you lose to somebody online and they beat you up and you're like, this guy's a scrub. In the arcade, if you said that and then he keeps beating everybody else, you're like, okay, I guess he's actually pretty good, like, it changes. Or you see somebody else use your same character, kick their ass, and you're like, what did he do different? And you start learning, watching. We don't watch enough, you know what I mean? So.
Yep. No, that is a very good point, and I like that idea. Like you're almost recreating something that happened in the arcade, but with a perk to make people want to do it or should do it. In other words.
Yeah. So I mean, in the chat right here on YouTube, actually, Shin Ultima is saying that Battle Hub is a thing, but the problem is Battle Hub is not ranked, and that's the key point. Is that ranked for some reason is the thing that everybody's like, this is where you measure your success in the fighting game. I personally hate playing ranked because it just doesn't feel comfortable to me. It's just like, I don't get the same kind of joy out of it, which is why I don't play ranked that often. I just get mad all the time. But, like, it's not quite the same thing. And so, like, having it tied to the actual ranked, and then having it so that people are like, hey, by the way, I see you're doing this all the time, not forcing it so that you could build a group with anybody who's online at any point in time. You could just message someone like, would you like to join my group ranked? And the in-game voice chat kicks on, and stuff like that. Like, I just think that would be such a powerful feature because, again, I just think fighting games they're a social genre, man. Like, it's about playing with other people and talking shit and helping each other and growing each other strength wise,
Dude, 100%. I've met my best friends. I've met my girlfriend. I've met people that I would take a bullet for because of playing a video game. Like, for real. Like, again, because I was shoulder to shoulder with someone in the arcade, like a lot came from that. It was the strongest and most important thing of my life was going to Chinatown Fair. Beyond even video games, it was the number one most important time of my life from 14 till 23, 24, whatever that was, I don't remember. But by far the most important chunk of my life and the most important place I could have been for 1,000 different reasons. Like,
right.
I don't want to get like too sentimental and all mushy and shit, but like I learned to be the person that I am because of going to this place. Like I really did. Like I'm from suburban Long Island, man. You know what I mean? Like I remember going to Chinatown and being like, this is also 14-year-old Joe, like confused. I'm like, why is this person dressed like this? Like, like what is going on here? And why is this person doing this? And who is this person over here? Like it cleared my head to understand that people were people. Yes. And that's it. Like
100%.
People were people. Again, I came from white suburban Long Island and now I'm in the Chinatown hood with the rest of every color, size, shape, gender, whatever you want to call anything. We were all in this little shoebox of a place. And I learned in there that nothing else mattered.
Right.
That all we wanted to do was play this dumbass game up here. And that's it. I mean, and that, like, I brought that with me. Like, I feel like if I didn't learn that at a young age, like, I would not be who I was. Like, I would have different morals and I would be thinking different. I'd be thinking different about other people. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I put a lot of credit, besides my dad and my parents, for
of course
being good parents, but being around people my age, that's strong.
Yeah.
When you're around people your age,
Yes.
when you're not hearing it from an adult, when you're hearing it from people that you look up to and that you can jive with and they're your age, like, I learned to be a good human being because of Chinatown Fair. So again, going to arcades and meeting people and talking, the most important thing in the world, and the fighting games have granted me that. Sorry, my bad, James.
No,
Sorry,
no. I just no. Please, I mean, I love hearing this because, like I said, I have so many similar things. I mean, so my brother went to UCLA, right? And so every spring break, so me and my brother get along wildly. We still meet for lunch even to this day, like twice a week, right? Like tomorrow I'm going to meet him for lunch and I'm always excited to hang out with him and talk to him for lunch and stuff, you know. We got along. So during my spring break in high school, I would just go with him to his apartment that he was staying at, and then he would go to all the classes and I would go to the UCLA arcade. And I would just sit there and play Street Fighter with all these people who were clearly better than me and all this stuff, you know, but I was getting good and I was pretty good for being, you know, younger. True story as well. I also met Amir during that time when he was like 6 years old. I have known Amir for a very long time, okay? But like after, you know, going and visiting my brother, like I specifically had to make sure I got into UCLA because of their arcade. Like I applied for UCLA because of their arcade, you know, so I could play, you know.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, You're driving factor.
Absolutely. And like you said, like some of those guys that I have met in that arcade, you know, are still people that I still talk to today, you know, and it's crazy because they're your war buddies. Like that's how I always describe fighting games, right? The reason why we get to attach to characters like Sagat, like let's bring it back to Sagat a little bit, but like, and why you make some of your best friends is because they're literally your war buddy. Like you are going to war with them. You've gone through so much with them that, you know, like you just have this attachment to them. Like people don't believe me when I say this, but like I've never really was like, oh my God, Cammy's so hot, this is why I play her, right? Like I played her because of Super Turbo. She sucked. Like I said, I was the low tier hero, right? So I played Cammy because she was the worst character in the game, and I wanted to beat everybody with the worst character in the game. But then I became known for playing her. And so, like, at that point, even though, honestly, since Super Turbo, she hasn't really been that fun, you know? But I kept playing her because she's my war buddy at this point, you know? And it's like, you just get attached to it. And the same thing happens with all the people that you meet in this arcade. Like, eventually you guys know each other. And then there's that one time, the first time, where someone, like, for example, for you, like, it would be like Dominion. For me, it was like Madge and Visant, you know, and stuff. Like, they were just like, hey, let's go grab something to eat. and you're like,
Yeah.
I've never eaten with them before, but yeah, they're
Yeah.
cool. Let's do this. And that's that weird step where all of a sudden transitions from, hey, we're just at this arcade to like, yo, are we becoming best friends? You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
it's so great, man. Oh, man. Again, I'm getting emotional talking about this. So, yeah.
Nah, dude, it really does like it. This is even though I'm not like around it as much as I used to be, it doesn't mean I don't want to be around it.
Right.
But this is by far, man, like not even a question. The most important thing that has ever happened to me is fighting games, and it's not even close, dude. It's not even close. And I'm a big music guy.
Yeah.
Like I love music. My family's musician. My guitar is right
dude.
there. I've played in bands and shit. Like I've done all that stuff. As much as music is great, music didn't shape me. Like fighting games really shaped me. You know what I mean? It's like
Chills.
It is by far, bro.
'Cause-
Clip it, put it wherever you want to put it. Like I'll fucking stamp it. I'll stamp it with my seal of approval. There is nothing that has had a bigger impact on me, from friends to my thought process to being to growing up to my morals to
Right.
everything. Like it all came because of a fucking stick and 6 buttons.
Right.
Like that's really what happened.
I mean, I was just about to ask, yeah, like, because I mean, obviously, I've seen the videos of you like diving into the crowds at the music concerts, and like, this is something you love and everything. But like, if you had to give up one of them, you would give up the music then before you would give up fighting games, huh?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know. So I will say there's also a very big like there's this huge similarity to my vision of what it's like to go to like a hardcore show and what it's like to be at like a fighting game event with all your friends. Like
Right.
it's genuinely the same thing. You guys are this tight-knit
yeah.
community. Even though you don't know each other, you're all doing the same thing. You're all losing your mind because you love this band. For whatever reason you love this band, is it the lyrics? Do the lyrics, does what that guy says on the stage like resonate with you and like make you feel something you would never feel? And like
Right.
other people in the room at a hardcore show, when you look to your right and there's this random dude that I've never seen before and he looks at me and he says the lyrics that I'm saying in my head,
Yeah.
like it's already like, yes, brother, like,
Yeah.
yes, now let me jump on your back and get on the stage.
Yeah.
But like, that is, it's almost the same thing. Like to me,
Yeah.
they've both carried the same amount of, they've given me the same feeling of like
Yeah.
belonging somewhere and like being a part of something and along with everybody else in the room.
Right.
But if I had to give one up, not that I don't love fighting games, but and not that you can't make a career out of it. As cool as it is to make a career out of fighting games, you were at the mercy of the game. If it's music,
Yeah, you know,
if it's music, we're at the mercy of ourselves writing the
Yeah.
music. You know, like Destiny's more in my hands a little bit, so that's why I would probably pick
right.
music.
No. I mean, honestly, from a practical standpoint too. I mean, so just recently, I don't want to get into it. You know, this year has been really rough for me. It's just been brutal year for me, right? And earlier this year, someone from who used to be part of the fighting game community that I became acquaintances with treated me to a concert to one of my favorite singers, and like I went and watched that concert. I got super emotional and everything, and it was just really cool. And like, people don't like. The hardest part is that fighting games, like, you can't be successful at fighting games the way we want to without like dedicating your whole life to it, right? Like music, you can listen to, hey, the band's in town, go watch them that weekend, cool,
Yeah.
you know, but like, from that standpoint, for sure, like you would probably just be like, yeah, I love fighting games, but right now I don't got time for this anymore, you know?
There's very, so again, just if it was career-wise, if it was a career, I would pick music. But I could easily say that fighting games have made me who I am.
Right.
While the music certainly helped, I spent more time with the community and the people that I've met in the community that have helped me grow up and things like that, and helped me like helped me live through life. Music was always there, not even a question about it. But when you're listening to music and it feels a certain way, it's different from actually having shoulders to lean on. You know what I mean? And people to talk to. And the fighting game community, like, it gave me that, which is why, again, the fighting game shaped me more, but if it was a career, I would certainly do music. Yeah.
I mean, also, too, I mean, obviously, your dad made a career out of music, right? So you have a lot of...
Dude,
you have a lot of knowledge of that. You have experience with that, right? So...
Yeah. My dad didn't have a real job until he was 45 years old. 45.
I'm older than that, and I don't have a real job right now. Okay, Joe. Like, no, I did have a real job, so you know.
No, I said that he played music his entire life,
right?
From when he was 11. I mean, he still does it today, but like, he did not have a 9-to-5 job from when he was 11 till he was 45. He got his first job when the last kid came into the family because they couldn't afford it anymore.
It's your fault, Joe. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh my God. No, I mean, like, because that's really fascinating too. Because honestly, like, I've seen you talk about this on Twitter. He just moved down to Florida and stuff, you know, and I'm sure that's you know, very tough for you and everything like that. And I told myself I wasn't gonna make any of those like, oh well, now you can move to LA and become LA Joe jokes anymore, because I know you've got a life out there and you're enjoying yourself out there. I'm not gonna I promise you, I'm not gonna ask that question, you know. But but you know, like, yeah, now this is just becoming an L.I. Joe interview here, you know, because like we like, one of the toughest things for me has always been, you know, my parents don't understand what the fuck I'm doing at all, right? Like, they just, like, there is no clue what is happening. And, you know, I always tell the story on my stream. You know, one day I went home, we were eating lunch and all this stuff, and I was like, hey, guess what? I'm going to be in Street Fighter 6. Like, my voice is going to be in the game. And, you know, my dad and my mom were like, did they pay you? And I was like, yeah, they did. How much? I was like, you know, it's not a lot, but it was more than what normal voice actors got, you know, kind of thing. So they kind of threw a bow, and they're like, cool. And then the subject changed, you know, and it's tough. And so, you know, that Evo, obviously, you know, when your dad was able to fly out to Evo, to the point where all those people watching ESPN were like, what's this stupid video games doing on my TV? And then they all became, this L.I. Joe guy is the coolest person in the world, you know. And the story with you and your dad, I mean, like, honestly, like, what was that moment like for you? And also, I mean, for your dad, right? Like how did that affect you?
Yeah. Oh my God. So it's funny you bring this up, because you know what John Gallagher sent me this morning? Videos of that, because it's the 9-year anniversary.
Are you serious? Today. Are you serious?
I didn't know this until, I swear to God, we have a group chat. John was putting pictures and videos in the group chat this morning of Evo 2016. Next year is going to be 10 years that happened. We were just talking about it in the chat.
Look, I knew it. That's why I scheduled today, so we can talk about it. No, I'm just kidding. That's 9 years.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's oh shit! Look, John's in the chat. Look, he's right there. He's confirmed I did that.
What's up, Johnny Cage?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was yeah. Damn, dude. It's funny, when John sent the stuff, I was thinking about it at work, and I'm like, it's gonna be 10 years next year since that happened, and like, it did. Oof, damn.
Yeah, I understand.
It did a lot, man.
Yeah.
It did a lot, because like, it was so, without anybody being there. Let's erase everybody. Let's erase my friends, my girlfriend, my dad. Let's erase everyone. Let's say it was just me and I had nothing. Even though it was just me, like, I've watched that stage be played on for like 20 years. Even though it might not have been that stage, you know, but like, I've continuously watched every one of my friends from CF on the stage. And by the way, I want to make sure I say this correctly. I never said that I don't mean that they don't deserve it. They did. They won. They put in the time. They're the best players in the world. I just wanted it too. You know what I mean? I wanted in place of them. I wanted it alongside them. So just to be clear, it wasn't like it's not a jealous thing. It's just that I wanted to be there, but I never wanted to take it away from anyone else.
Yes,
of course not. But I've always wanted to be like, I wanted that, dude. Like, what did I play games for? Like, why was I competing? Why was I taking the fucking Chinatown bus to Virginia to play Third Strike? Like, why was I doing that? Why was I drooling all over Justin's shoulder in a bus or on an airplane for Street Fighter 4? Like, why was I doing that? I did it all because like I wanted to. Like, that was the end goal. Like, give me a fucking medal. Like, let me get a medal, dude. Like, please let me get a medal. And again, not that I was yearning for it. Like, I didn't lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? Right. But it was a drive. Like I want to do good. Like, I do good in Chinatown. I win this tournament. I win this local. I'll do this. I'll win an NEC. Like we'll go to bar fights. I'll do good in bar fights in California. All that shit's happening. But like, I never got that next step. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I never got this solidification. Like, here it is. So again, taking everybody out of the equation, it was extremely important for me because it was the culmination of work I did my entire life. Right. How old was I? How old was I 9 years ago? Whatever. But it was the culmination of, I was good, whatever. I was 30. It's the culmination of me playing for 27 years of playing fighting games, and I never got a chance to do that. Now we put everybody else in the mix. Jeez. And now we put everybody else, like my friends that I've been grinding this stupid fucking game with for a year. All we did was play Street Fighter 5. Dude, if it was a Friday, everyone was at my house. We would go to sleep. I'm sorry, we wouldn't sleep. Right. At 6:00 a.m., I would turn them and be like, does anybody want pancakes? And then I would make Diego pancakes. I would make Angel pancakes. I would make Marv pancakes. I would make John pancakes.
You made the pancakes? Dude, like, I
swear to God.
It's one of these days I need to have an L.I. Joe pancake. I don't even care if it's not good. I don't even care if it's not good. I just want an L.I. Joe pancake, so that's all.
I swear to you. I would look at them and be like, yo, I'm starving. You guys want pancakes? And it would be the light would be shining through my kitchen light, and the buttons would still be going on. Yeah. So now we have all my friends there, the friends that like I grew up with, from playing video games, from grinding, from Street Fighter 4, because most of the dudes that are actually from the LI scene now, like all those dudes that you might know, they only started playing like 4.
Of course.
John was really the only one. Yeah, John and like Lex and a couple of other people were really the only ones from Long Island that were playing pre Street Fighter 4. So now, again, we have my friends pre Street Fighter 4 that helped me get to where I am. My post Street Fighter 4 friends that are here. My girlfriend at the time, Kat. Shout out to the lovely Kat. Love you. She's in the chat.
I saw her. Yeah, hi, Kat.
She's there. She's there. And not only that, like, I'm playing against, like, I remember standing on a stage and being like, I've watched Nemo play video games for the past 20 years. I've watched this dude play with Faust in Guilty Gear XX. I watched this dude play for my whole life, and I'm standing next to him, like, on a stage about to get a medal. Like, the whole thing is absolutely insane. And finally, you take the last piece of the puzzle, the person that's responsible for it all, my dad, and put him right in the middle. Like, my dad is the one that took me to so not to make it a sob story, my parents got divorced when I was a kid. When I was 7, my parents got divorced. I lived with my mom because my brother and sister lived with my dad. And I was like, well, if you guys are going with dad, I'm not leaving mom by herself. So I'm going to go with mom. So I left my house where my brother and sister and dad were to live with my mom. So I didn't want to be alone. So I grew up with my mom. My dad picked me up every Friday. It wasn't like a visiting right thing. Like, it wasn't that serious. But every Friday, my dad would pick me up after work. He would say, Joe, what do you want to do? And I would say, I want to go to the arcade. He would take me to one of 4 arcades every Friday for my entire childhood.
Jesus.
He took me everywhere, and he would give me. It's so funny. This dude tells the same story all the time, and now I'm telling the same story. I guess you are a little bit more like your parents than you want to be.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But you asked though. That's why I'm telling it, because
Right.
you asked about it. That's why. It's really because you asked for it. So my dad would give me $2, and I would last 10 minutes, and then it started lasting a half hour, and then it started lasting an hour, and then I would give him money back at the end of the night. I'd be like, here you go, Dad, here's the $1. He'd be like, you didn't spend it? And I would just be like, no, I didn't lose. And then he'd be like, what? And then he started like paying attention to me playing and like watching me beat people in Street Fighter 2. And again, this is not Chinatown. This is pre-Chinatown. You know, like I'm beating people in MK1 and MK2, and I would stay on the machine all night in UMK3 because no one would beat me. And then when you beat the arcade in UMK3, you can pick one of the things that lets the game start over again. And I would just do it all over again. And I would literally be on the machine from 6 p.m. till 12 a.m. when the building closed.
Oh my God.
Like my dad just started like watching me. And I know I'm like kind of beating around the bush of the answer, but I'm trying to paint the picture of like how important he was to me being L.I. Joe.
Right.
I hate saying that, but it's true. Like,
well, I mean,
it's true with.
I just want to add, because you just also posted up that picture of your dad drawing you at the Tekken Tag cabinet, right? So yeah.
What year did Tekken Tag come out? I don't know. How old was I? 12?
Right.
13? I don't know. Maybe something like that. Like I was really young. But like now him in the mix again, the most important person that has guided me through my career of fighting games is 100% my father. Like no questions asked. And now remember, I didn't know he was there, by the way. I had no idea.
And if you don't mind me, just I'll give him time, but like I just want to ask Johnny, because I know for a fact it was Johnny who contacted your dad and flew him out, right? And I just want to know, was that like difficult to do, or was it just like you need to come and your dad was like drop everything and go, right? I'm curious how that went. So
John can correct me since he is in the chat. All I know is that I called my dad after I won. So my dad knew what I was playing for. He knew it was going to be ESPN in front of all these people. So he knew. So like I would call him at the end of the day. At the end of the day, when I'd be like, all right, I'm cool. I'm about to play tomorrow. So like I'm still in the bracket. All right, cool. Good luck. Love you. Keep me updated. All right, cool. Bye. All right, how you doing? Yeah. Are you good? Everything is good. I called my dad and I'm like, Dad, are you there? He's like, yeah, how'd you do? I remember where I was. We were outside. I was walking outside. I wasn't inside. I don't remember where I was walking, but I was outside somewhere in Vegas walking with everybody. And I said, I qualified. I'll be on, and I remember my dad does this. Oh, that's the classic dad sound. Oh, yes. So my dad did the classic sound, and then my sister, right? Joe's sister called me when he qualified. My sister called John, and they kind of planned it. And then I think John spoke to the guys at Evo and said, listen, Joe's dad wants to come. He doesn't have a ticket. Can we get, and they were like, you tell him to come right now. We'll get him whatever he needs. We'll get him in this building. It doesn't matter. So my sister called John and my sister spoke, and my dad said, I don't care how much money it is. Just get the ticket. And till this day, my dad says it all the time, I have no idea how much that trip even cost me. I told your sister, get me there and get me home. And he gave my sister the card.
Oh my God.
And my sister did it all right there on the spot. My dad came, he didn't even have a fucking bag. He came in his clothes. Yeah, he didn't have anything because he's only staying for one night. He came, he flew in, he landed Sunday, and he went to sleep. I don't even remember where the fuck he went. Where did he go to sleep? I actually think he went to the airport. I think he went back to the airport. I gotta call him. Hold on a second. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna give you a. Hold on.
Jesus.
Hold on.
We're gonna get cameo of Li Dad here. Oh, I'm sorry. FL Dad.
Yeah, we're gonna
FL
figure this
Dad.
out right now. Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear the phone?
Not yet.
All right. I'll make him scream
Okay.
if he picks up.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
He forwarded me? Bastard. Forward me?
Well, Johnny in the chat says that apparently he didn't even stay, that they walked him out that night, and I guess they...
I don't think he stayed. Yeah. I think he came, he watched it, you know, like and then he, after that, I remember him not staying, like him going like directly back to the airport, and then he went home. And again,
man.
sorry that I didn't really answer your question easily. It's not an easy.
This is a great.
It's not an easy answer because there's like a lot of personal stuff that made it as important that it was, and like trying to paint the picture a little bit, you know. But
I love this. I love this. So I mean, don't even apologize at all. So
it really was like by far probably one of the most important weekends of like my life for 1,000 different reasons, you know, like it's there is one thing though, and I might have said this, like, oh, hold on a second. Hello.
Did you call?
I did call you. I have a very quick question. You can't take forever. I need a quick answer. Are you ready?
No.
Did you go directly back to the airport after my top 8 thing?
I slept in the airport.
I knew you slept in the airport. Okay, that's what I was going to say. I was talking to someone. I'm like, I'm 90% sure he didn't even stay. He landed, he came to the event, he hung out with me for like an hour after, and then he had to go back to the airport for a flight. He slept in the airport.
The gentleman that you fought, we were going out towards the side door under I was going out towards the side door, and they were calling you for pictures and and somebody else wanted to talk to you. I said, Joe, I can't stay. I said, enjoy yourself, and that was it. And I walked out.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure he didn't even stay. That he went right to the airport. Wow. All right, cool. Sorry, no, that's all. Love you. Have a good night in Florida. Yeah, so he didn't even stay. He went directly back to the airport and he went home.
That's amazing. FL Dad now, right? You said he has to be officially FL Dad. Dang.
That's right. Yeah. That's
man.
No, but for real, yeah, it was the one thing that I don't want to say bothered me about it is that I love one of the other most important things about it is that like people have said to me like how, and look, I know that I'm blessed to have a dad that supported me like a billion percent. Unfortunately, like I feel so, even like James, like you just said that your parents didn't get it, you know what I mean? Like I am blessed, dude, for real. I don't take that for granted. I'm 100% blessed that my father supported me and still supports me till this very day. Are you going to Evo? Are you working Evo? Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see you. Like, till this very day, he asked me where I'm going, am I playing, blah, 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 blah. But the fact that other people have hit me up and be like, you know, man, like, seeing that, like, really made me connect on certain things with my father or have people hit me up and be like, you know, like, that has taught me to be like a better dad. Like when my son grows up, I want to be your dad for my son. Like really crazy, mind blowing, like tear jerking shit people have told me over it. And like, as important as that moment is, I feel like I didn't even mean to do it, but like one of the things I think about that I always wanted to do was just like leave. If I die tonight, right? Okay. God forbid, if I die tonight, all I would want to do is just make like a positive mark here, right? Not in FGC, but just like the world, like have someone be able to think about me or what I've done or what happened, and at least be like, smile and be like, damn, you know, he did X, Y, Z, or I remember X, Y, Z. Like just to be able to bring some form of like happiness, kind of like the ripple in the pond effect, right? Like you drop the pebble in the pond, and I just want my life to be able to ripple. And
it's like balancing a fighting game, right? It's like
yes, it really is that easy. It really is. But like to have people say shit like that to me, like that means more to me than having the medal. And the medal is right on Yoda behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I can see it.
The medal is right above my finger right there. Yep.
That's awesome.
But yeah, being able to like inspire people to play or inspire people to like how does someone tell me like that moment once is going to make me be a better dad? I'm like, holy shit, dude, hold on. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Right,
But like, yeah, and then people that didn't know fighting games have got like, you know, after watching you, I remember playing Street Fighter 2 and like now I want to get back into fighting games. Like that hits me more than like anything else as far as the weekend goes. Like that is a crazy. The other thing, the negative side about it, I'm gonna tell you one negative side about it. The negative side about it is that, and I understand it's a great accomplishment, I am beyond proud of what I've done. So I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful. I don't want to sound like it's not one of the most important things that's ever happened to me, because that's not true. It is one of the most important things that's ever happened to me. But the thing that kind of bothered me was that you are now, this is going to sound so bad, I can't believe I'm going to say this, is that two things. You are now the dude that made top 8, right?
Uh-huh.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But just to like, there's so much other things that is the thing that takes precedent over anything. And I get it. I'm not saying it's wrong, but just internally, like, do I want to be the dude that made top 8? You know, like,
it's exactly like when you hear actors talk about like they have a role that made them famous and now they're typecast as that character forever, basically. Yeah.
So that. And again, I have to please understand when I say this, I am not ungrateful. I am beyond proud of what I've done and incredibly humbled over the experiences that I've gotten from that particular event. But it's just crazy when like that is what you hear. It even happens to games like I'm the Urian guy. Not really. I use Urian in Third Strike a little bit, you know, I love, he's my favorite character. But there's 1,000 other characters I play, but nope, that's the guy that did the thing at CEO and likes Urian. That's what you get stuck in, that like bubble. And that kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. It's not a negative thing. I just have a hard time dealing with it. That makes more sense. It's not negative. I just have a hard time dealing with it. And besides,
because basically it's one of the most interesting, you know, realizations and growth that I had to have, you know, doing the FGC stuff, literally was realizing that we are celebrities, even if it's just to a small crowd. And so a lot of the times we're boiled down to a small thing, right? You know, and it is kind of tough that way sometimes, because you're like, you know, that was awesome, but you know, obviously I've done a lot more. Like, look at this, I'm on stage hosting Evo now, you know, all these things, you know, and for sure, you know, it's hard, you know, but, you know, one of the things that it was weird, because like I was doing the Arc World, like the Arc, I forgot what the show was called, but you know, the Arxis was doing like those little podcasts from like Dude's Garage kind of thing, and I was guesting on there with one of the main voice actresses from Kill la Kill, because they had just come out with a Kill la Kill game. Same actress who did the voice of Agretzko in the Netflix series, you know. And I was talking to her a little bit about that, you know, about, you know, how odd it is to, you know, people come up and be like, hey, James, can I get a photo and all that stuff like that. And she was like, you know, but, you know, the thing about it is, it's weird for you and it's odd, but, you know, to that person, it might be everything. Right. And she was like, so, you know, it's important to realize what it means to them and how you affected them. Right.
Correct.
And so
correct.
A lot of it is like, OK, I get it. Like, I'm known for this kind of thing. Like, everyone knows me for crying at, you know, the Tokido ending and stuff like that. But like, for you, example, as well, like those moments that define us mean so much for people that, you know, it is one of those things that we have to look at and be like, you know, like, yeah, we are defined by that. But at the same time, like that definition grows into something so much bigger for so many other people, you know?
No, you are 1,000 times right. And that's why I was trying to be careful with how I worded it. It's just that like, again, I struggle with it, but that doesn't mean, again, it's wrong or I don't appreciate when people know me for that. I do appreciate it. I am humbled by it. It's just an inner thing that I have to wrestle with, you know, but that's it. And the other negative thing about it, the one more was the expectation that was put on me. The expectation was something that was not too much, but it was, everything was the perfect storm for me to be on that stage that year. From the character that I liked in the game, like to everything. Like Nash happened to be really good. Justin losing to Chirithi.
Right.
There is 1,000 things that fell into place. The way my friends were. Not that I love my friends to death, but we don't play like we did. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been as good.
Right.
You know, like there are so many things. These guys, like I said, we were making pancakes. I was cooking for them at 5 a.m. because we were still fucking playing this dumbass game. Like there are so many things that fell into place that made me good. And like I also knew, and I say this all the time when people ask me about it, I don't think that I was the 5th best player in that room during Evo.
Right.
I was just the 5th best player that managed to win 2 games in a row before anyone else beat me 2 games in a row.
Right.
That's the God's honest truth. Like when I was, and I tell this story again all the time when people bring up this thing, was when I was with my friends, I remember we were walking, it was like top 128, top 64. It was close. It was close to top 8. And we were all walking through the ballroom going to one of my matches. There was like 3 or 4 of us. And they were like, I forgot what someone said. I don't remember who said it. I just remember replying and saying, there's nobody in this room I can't beat twice. Impossible.
Oh, right.
I will beat anyone standing in here 2 times in a row. Like, I know I can do that. If we play first to 10, it might be 10-2. But motherfucker, I got those 2 games first. So in this room... Now that's all that mattered. Yeah. And that was really my mindset. I wasn't trying to be cocky. I wasn't like being overzealous. I was like, do I think I'm better than Tokido? No, I don't. But I could beat him 2 games before he beats me 2 games.
Yeah.
That I'm comfortable with saying.
God.
And that was my mentality. And that's how I went into like 128.
That's such a great mentality. I mean, just for fighting game players in general, because a lot of people are just like, oh, I can't win these tournaments or whatever like that. But yeah, like, I mean, if you just believe you can win 2 games, if, like you said, it could be 98-2, but if you won those 2 games first, it doesn't matter, right? So it's over.
Matter.
So.
Man. I want to bring this shit around full circle.
Okay.
This is why open brackets are so important for the fighting game community.
Right. Yeah.
You could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 games, dude.
I mean, look what like technically the World Warrior, you know, being all around the world is kind of like an open bracket, right? And then that's how we got Blaz last year, right? Like, I mean, like 100%. But you know, to kind of even bring this even further for full circle here, you know, you were talking about expectations and all that stuff. So with Sagat coming out, you're going to Evo top 8 again, right? No, just kidding. That was the other question. I promised myself I wasn't going to ask you the whole, like, so you're back, right? Like, let's go, you know.
Do you know, so there are 2 to 3 people that hit me up, not even under these circumstances, and I'm going to say their name. John, David Bunch, and Javits.
Oh, okay.
Are 3 people. These 3 people all the time, they say all the time, they're like, bro, why don't you just give it one more shot? Like, they tell me, like, yeah, they say it, and not even like because of Sagat, they're like, Bunch hit me up the other day, and he was like, I miss seeing you play. He's like, seeing you play is...
Wait, I just want to say
something different.
Right. Is Bunch, Casa Bunch, like same guy basically?
Yes,
oh, okay,
yes,
okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Very, very good friend of mine.
Okay,
one of my best friends. But he's like, I miss watching you play. He's like, and not like sitting down playing us. Like, go to the tournament, play, and see how you do. He's like, I miss watching you play at a level where it's at that level, I guess I should say.
I mean, I'm not even
Javits says it all the time to me.
I mean, I wouldn't even say like I'm like super good for, like, obviously we've gone through a lot together and I've known him forever, but like I miss watching Vi kill people in fighting games, you know.
That's a good one.
You know, right? Like, honestly,
that's a good one.
You know, I there's just certain people that look, Combo Fiend, right? Like, I miss seeing Combo Fiend beat everybody up. So yeah, I totally get where they're coming from. They're just like, yeah, oh God, it would be so cool just to see Li Joe go for another run and stuff. But you know, I know life is different and things are hard, and you know, it's different because for a lot of these kids these days, and you know, calling them kids just is, you know, we can't help it, but like, you know, they can plan their life around that, and not only that, but like, you know, the relationships they build have that expectation already that they're going to be playing fighting games for a long time, right? So a lot of these guys are just going to, you know, their friends, their girlfriends, boyfriends, you know, partners, you know, if their parents, I mean, you see the stories of like Enzo the Hokage, his dad's driving him all around to all these events, just like, you know, your dad used to do. And like, but they have that expectation. And so people don't realize that when you're growing up, I tell the story all the time, we all knew we were going to stop at some point. Yeah. We all knew we were going to retire. And so, like, there is a weird thing about the way your brain works. But, like, you know, you spend all this time, you're like, I'm going to stop playing. And so you would prevent yourself. Your brain would block you from going all in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that happens after like 20 years of that. Yeah. And by the time you get to this age, you're not sure you can do it. I mean, I'm trying. It's not easy. It's hard, but like I know what that's like. Yeah, a lot of times it's you know, you have worked so hard to get your brain to be like, I can't get this far into it because it will ruin my life, because that's what we were told when we were young, right? Like, you can't play video games forever. That's going to ruin your life. You know, you got to get a job, start a family. So like, it's tough. So it's not just one of those things that you could just be like, yeah, I'll just turn it on again. Let's go, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I think about. Also, there's always the debate about the competition now and the competition back then. Mm-hmm. Like, I just feel like there's so many more players right now, and there's so many more ways to get good, be it online or be it whatever. And I hate to use that term, but like, it's kind of true. Like, people didn't have access to the arcade, therefore there wasn't a huge scene to play, so the pool was a little bit smaller. Yes. You know, like, I think there's a lot of things. I don't want to really get too deep into that conversation. There's a whole lot of factors that do that. But like, but just like the way that people play now, dude, I don't have that in me, bro.
Right.
I don't. Like, dude,
okay, yeah.
Punk is in 3 tournaments a night. I'm like, nah, bro, you're bugging. Like, nah, dude, come on, I can't do that. He's in this tournament, and then he's in another tournament, and then he's in another tournament at 8 p.m. I'm like, dude, what happened to like once a month we all went to Philly or Florida or another place and we played and we went home?
Dude,
like,
there's
like,
actually,
I don't know if I have that in me.
There's actually weeklies out there that are banning people from multi-tournamenting in the same day because it holds them up. Like, this is a thing we had to worry about, you know? Like, it's crazy.
Exactly.
But I mean,
yeah, I just don't know if I had that in me. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No. I mean, now a little more seriously and not joking as much here, to kind of bring it back. I mean, like, is this something that at least you just like, obviously I'm not asking you if you're going to try to get back into it, but like, with Sagat coming out, and let's say the fireball thing doesn't turn out to be that bad, like they make up for it in other ways and all this other stuff, and a lot of the things they gave him are just really cool, and he just like, he fits you like a glove, right, kind of thing. Like, again, I'm not saying like you're gonna go to Evo with expectations to like try to repeat top 8 and stuff like that, but like, would you know, play like casual online tournaments, or, you know, would you get to that point where you would get back and travel to CEO and actually just want to ruin a bunch of people's weekends, you know, and you know?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that is again, not a paid advertisement. I genuinely like Street Fighter 6. Yeah. It is my favorite Street Fighter. I like it better than 4 and better than 5. Right, like, easy, like not even close. I really do like this game. Is it perfect? No game is perfect, but you have to be able to take the pros and the cons and be able to work with what you got. If you ask me, they gave us a great product that we can work with what we got.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. So anyway, I genuinely like the game. One of the problems I've had with the game is that I struggled with a character.
Yeah.
I used Ryu in the beta because it was Ryu, and then I used Ken a little bit, and I played JP when JP came out. Like I had when the game launched, I used JP. I've had a hard time like connecting and being like, this is it.
Yeah.
Like when I played 5, the second I tried Nash, I'm like, oh, this is so
right.
cool.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I knew it immediately. I didn't have to look for another character. When I picked Sagat in Street Fighter 4, I'm like, yep, I'm good. I'm good for the rest of this game, whether he's good or bad. But I haven't gotten that feeling for 6 yet. So I'm hoping, again, when I do get a chance to play Sagat, hopefully at Evo, I plan to wake up dumbass early because just to get there, and hopefully I can get on that line at Evo and play him. And then I'm going to fly home and turn this bitch on immediately.
Right.
And I haven't turned my stream on in like 3 months, maybe even 4 months. But when he's out, I think he comes out the day that I land home. That's it. Like I'm at least going to turn the game on and grind the game with Sagat for a little bit to see if I enjoy how he pans out.
Okay.
So what I don't want to say that, I don't want to use a term I'm back or anything like that, but I do want to say that I will be playing, I will be streaming, and we'll see what happens. Like that's really
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like it is hard. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of work. But as you mentioned, you are a person who you need to have that connection with a character, right? And a lot of people ask me why I'm not playing Cammy in Street Fighter 5 or 6, and I'm always playing I've played Lucia in 5, and she wasn't very good, et cetera, et cetera. And people are like, why don't you just play Cammy? Like I said, since Super Turbo, only in Street Fighter 4 where she had Tiger Knee, Cannon Strike, I think is the second most fun that she's ever been. Obviously, that she was super good because of that move, and
she was good,
and so that makes it fun, obviously. But since then, like Street Fighter 5, like Cammy, I used to turn on the game, go to training mode, and I'd pick Cammy, and I'd literally just stare at the screen, and then I'd pause and go pick somebody else. There was like nothing to lab with that character, and people don't know this, but I've always been a Final Fight player, right? So I played Guy, I played Maki, right? And then I played Lucia, and now I play Kimberly. I've always liked that character archetype. I don't know why, but like I've always liked that archetype, and so that's why I played Lucia, and why I'm also sticking with Kimberly. Now Kimberly's really good, so I can't even complain about it anymore. So, but yeah, I mean. But it still takes a lot of time, but you need to have that character to attach to. So a lot of times people will ask me, like, who should I play? Who should I play? And I'm like, dude, when you start in bronze and you start in silver and all that stuff like that, like, you don't care about tier lists. Like, don't worry about that. Play the character you connect with and the one that you enjoy. Sure, the only warning you have to give someone is if their goal is to become a top-level player, to not get Stockholm syndromed into your character if they do suck. But when you start, just play someone you like. And I mean, Sagat obviously is a character that you have a lot of affinity for. So to kind of bring it a little bit back, is there anything else besides the fireball stuff that you might be worried about for Sagat?
Yeah, I actually, I'm not. Now, I don't know. We haven't seen it. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But he does not cancel his crouch medium kick, which is huge in this game. Which is a big one. Mm-hmm. That's a big one. And there's no Kara anything in the video. So those two things, look, not that he's always had Kara, like obviously it's not something that was been in every single Street Fighter, but it's just something that I liked about the character. You know what I mean? That like I enjoyed that portion of it, and just kind of like what you said before. If your hands don't like what you're doing, you're not really going to stick with anything else. Like that's something that my hands like doing. You know what I mean? Like my hands like doing that. So again, the affinity to the character, just the play style, how the character feels, like it all makes you want to play the game. Like if my hands like doing it, I hope he's got it, because then I'm going to want to play the game, right? So like again,
I've told people,
it all makes sense, right?
I've actually said on Twitter, like, I wish that everybody who plays fighting games had an opportunity to play on an arcade cabinet and to DP a limb. You know, like, because, like, dude, when you do the uppercut on the machine and you know you can put your whole goddamn body into that DP motion, and, like, you hit, like, with Ken, that's why everybody played Ken in Super Turbo, even though he was bad, right? Like, if you uppercut Guile crouching medium kick, like, that is just, like, the greatest feeling in the world.
You feel like you feel like a god, bro. You feel like a god.
And,
you know what's funny?
The Sagat Carrot thing is very similar, because, like, oh, I'm not in range, and then all of a sudden you're like, pow, you're just like, oh my god.
I sure am in range. I sure am in range.
Yeah.
It's so funny that tweet that you made about that. I remember I replied to because something happened at the FGC charity event where Jatsu has never seen me play, and I was playing St. Cola, and St. Cola was using Bison, and I was fucking DPing scissor kicks and DPing side crest, and I was like. And he was like, bro, it sounds like you're shooting a gun. I'm like, I'm playing the arcades, bro. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
We didn't know if the buttons were going to work, dude. We didn't.
My shoulder, I fucking hit the button. Like, the whole thing was happening. And just, it was like, I've never seen you play in person before. And it's like, almost scary. Like, what?
So I mean, when Street Fighter 4 was so big, my coworker actually like asked me to go over to his place to teach him Street Fighter, and he bought one of the SE sticks. Remember, not the big, like the cheaper ones. And I was like, so this is what you got to do, and I would like start using it, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're gonna break my controller. And I was like, what are you even talking about? He's like, you're hitting it so hard, and I'm like, am I? You know, like, people in my chat have asked me. People in my chat have asked me, like, why are you so angry right now? And I'm like, what? And they're like, you're hitting the button so hard. And I was like, I am. You know? Oh man. But yeah, I mean, getting those DPs out like that feels great. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting too because like the Ken trailer came out for Fatal Fury, right? And you don't see Ken do any breaks in there. And so someone's like, maybe because he can super cancel, he doesn't have breaks. And I was like, that'd be interesting, right? And so, yeah, you're right. Like Sagat, you don't get to see him do the carry cancel. And the crouching medium kick thing, I will just say personally, because I can tell how they're designing the game and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be cancelable. And the reason why...
I would say it's not as well. Yeah. I would agree with you. Yeah.
So the reason why is just because the range on it looked ridiculous, and everybody who has a ridiculous range crouching medium kick cannot cancel it, right? So Elena, I was like, oh my god, her crouching medium kick is farther than Jury's, and then I was like, oh wait, I can't cancel this. I was like, interesting. You know, like Manon, Zangief, all those characters who have ridiculous ranges on them can't cancel. So I'm 99% sure he can't cancel that, but the Kara stuff, I have no idea. The good
I agree, it's probably not cancelable either. But
the good
we'll see.
The good news about the Kara thing is that Honda still has it from his stomp, right? He can do the Kara into the Oicho throw. So I'm hoping they leave that for Sagat, and maybe they just didn't want to put it in the blog like, yes, you can Kara cancel this, and like people are gonna be reading like what the hell does that mean, you know? So I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still holding reservations. You know, again, I do agree with you. I highly doubt crouch medium kick is cancelable. But it's crouch fierce is, and that button looks crazy far.
Well, he has that
crazy far.
I think the one where he like kind of arcs the punch, that one I think might be crouching medium punch based on the sound effect when I was trying to analyze it. But it also had a target combo off of it that like he could cancel, which was like crazy.
That was off stand fierce.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's off stand. Yeah. I'd have to watch the trailer again, but I think there is a point. I think he's in the old Sagat outfit where he does cancel crouch fierce. It's super far, like really far.
I think I remember. Okay, yeah, because like I said, I analyzed it yesterday, but it was just kind of like a whirlwind because I was just like, oh my god, you know, like I'll double check that one. So, but yeah,
I'm actually looking right now. Hold on, I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Not there.
Nice.
It's not there. It's not there. I'll give you the timestamp. Hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, he throws him. He's got forward light kick. I love that he has forward light kick actually, like Street Fighter 4.
I mean, I hope that's the one that's carry cancelable. You know, I mean, forward heavy kick obviously would be good, but you know.
Yeah. I'll take anything. Just give me something.
Right.
Where is this? Come on, dude. Come on, Sagat. Do it for me. That stands short. That's crouch medium punch. That's right here. It's at So 104 looks like a cancelable crouch medium punch.
Okay.
Hold on, let me look.
Let me see.
Yeah, 104 looks like crouch medium punch. At 106,
Yeah, okay. 106. Oh, right
That shit-
afterwards. Okay. Let me see.
That's crouch fierce, man.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm gonna put this on screen for everybody so they can
that is
see
a-
this.
That is a long ass limb.
Holy crap. Yeah, here, let me bring this up just so people can see this in the chat over here.
Very long limb.
Let's see, where is it? If I take this off, there we go. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, that was definitely crouching heavy punch. Holy crap. And then, yeah, that was, so we see the crouching strong there. And that, oh my God. Holy crap.
That shit is far.
Dude, that's terrifying. Because we already know how annoying that move was in like CVS 2, dude. Jesus. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Dang. Whew, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that it definitely looks a little bit different than like the crouch medium punch.
Also, the sound
his
effect
leg is a little.
The sound effect is
I
clearly.
don't have the sound on, so I
okay.
can't hear
yeah,
it.
the sound
Okay,
effect is
okay,
clearly a heavy punch. So yeah.
Is it? Okay,
yeah.
okay. I don't have the sound on.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he punches the shit out of you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Damn, he looks cool, man. Damn, he looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, just like I seriously, after because I did the live reaction to the release, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'll do the detailed analysis later. And after I stopped my stream, like I watched the trailer like 4 times. Like I seriously just like,
me too, dude.
And it wasn't even like to try to get advanced like an analysis. I was just watching because he just looks so sick. He just looks so good, dude.
He really does look so cool, man. He looks angry.
Yeah.
I like that. Like the way he's like ferocious. You know what I mean? Like he's like hitting you to kill you. You know? Like it's hard to explain, but he's got some oomph behind those hits.
Yeah.
Like everything looks like super intentional, you know? Like no, I'm gonna knee you in the skull. Yes, yeah, I'm gonna knee you in the skull. Yeah.
You know, when I was doing the analysis too, I was like, the funny thing about it is like nothing about that detracts from his like that potential storyline of him trying to become a good person now, right? Like he's raising all these kids and stuff, but this is the only way he's learned how to fight. You know, this would be like the sequel where the bad guy has that redemption arc thing where you find out he was actually bullied by his trainer, you know, to like kill people and stuff. And like Sagat's trainer was like, no holding back, Cobra Kai kind of stuff, you know? And now that's just how he knows how to fight. He doesn't know how to fight anywhere else, but he's trying to be good. And like, that last win pose, like he clearly could have just elbowed Bison in the head and killed him, but was just like, no, that is not me anymore, you know, kind of a thing. Oh man.
Really cool take on the character, man, through and through. Like really cool take.
Yeah, he's so cool looking. And like I said, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. Obviously, I don't want to keep you here for too long, you know, and obviously we went through all sorts of different things. And I know you work tomorrow morning and all that stuff like that. And you're on East Coast time. So, you know, you let me know.
I mean, no, yeah. Do you have any other, does the chat have any other questions? You want to touch on anything real quick before I get out of here? Maybe one more round table if anyone has anything in the chat.
So I'll answer Vogg's question in the chat. I don't know if you read the blog, but he has Cammy's heavy DP basically that you can charge it and hold it, and apparently then it goes into that wall bounce. I'm theorizing that you can't get any juggles off of it unless you have like the magic distance from the corner, like it travels just far enough so that you can land and, you know, still DP in time, but it just looks sick. It looks really sick.
It looks super sick.
Let's see.
Yeah,
so
I wonder if they would even if they would have a hitbox on the wall, you know, like maybe if you drive or something, like Ryu. Who knows?
So Emmanuel in the YouTube said people said that 2 years ago most high players have reached the ceiling a long time ago and they're not. Oh, they're talking about something else. Never mind. Okay, I thought they were asking a question for you because it was really long. So never mind. Oh man. But I mean, I tell you what though, like if you do stream the day that he drops and stuff like that, I know you have my number. Give me a text. right? And
Yes.
what I might do, like maybe we'll try to do it virtually, because I'm trying to do that in my Discord too. Get people to, like, I created voice chats where people can stream their own games and just have people come and watch. But like, if you play,
cool.
I will just come into Discord and just like watch you play and just, you know, and like shoot the shit with you and give you ideas and
that'd
lab
be sick,
lab
man.
on the side.
No, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually bad at that. That's why, like, again, I gotta shout out Javits. Javits has always been like Javits is the one that tells me in my head what to do.
Yeah.
Because I could do it here, but I can't do it here. Like, so yeah, I'm very bad in training mode for the most part. So
Okay.
it would actually be really good for you to be like, nah, you idiot, do something like this and have it work, because it's gonna work. Because I'm not gonna think of it.
Right.
So that would actually be really cool. Yeah, let's see if we can set that up.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I talk about this a lot too. Because when we were playing fighting games back in the arcade, we had no internet, we had no YouTube, we had no training modes, and so you couldn't design fighting games the way they play now. Because I've often said, like, people always say that I'm using this as an excuse why I'm bad at these games, but like 5 and 6 are very different Street Fighter games because they require you to study. Like, I tell everybody on my streams, if you knock somebody down and you already don't have your options ready to go, like, you're fucking up, right? But like, when you talk to old school players about, like, you know, fighting games, they're like, why'd you do that? And they'll be like, I don't know, it just felt right. You know, like
that's exactly my answer. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, this kind of what I felt like I should have done.
Right, exactly. And so, you know, a lot of those players are not good at this training mode thing. You know what I mean? It's like really hard to sit down and just be like, oh, because like I'll lab and I'll be like, oh, okay, this thing is now plus 37. I need to find a move that's like 15 frames long to whiff, and you know, and that's just not for everybody. Like, it's just not.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I need you to say, Joe, after you do this, press crouch medium punch and throw.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Exactly. So there you go. And it's crazy too, because there are those players who are good at both. Because, like, you know, like as soon as a character drops, that's the first thing that automatic labs. He labs like every knockdown, every meaty. Can I make this one land super meaty so it's plus and all that stuff? And then he's also, Third Strike is his favorite game. And I was like, I need to prove a point. And I was like, automatic, do you know any frame data in Third Strike? He was like, fuck no, dude.
Dude,
know?
I don't know a single frame in Third Strike. Nothing.
Right.
And if you ask me, I'm gonna be like, oh, I really have no fucking idea.
Right. Because it was just so different. It was different times, and you know, they had to design games that way. They couldn't design the games the way they do now because we didn't have the ability to research them like this. And if they designed them that way, we would all think they sucked, and just like not a lot of people would have played them. But like the fact that we could just be, I call the old school genre of games, I call them like the heart games and the mind games, but like I call the old school genre the fuck it DP genre, you know? Like, because that's exactly what it is, right? I don't know what to do here, fuck it DP, you know? And like that worked, so. Oh man.
Sure.
Let's see. So Emmanuel is asking the chat if you're casting the next Evo, but I don't think any of us can talk about that. So you know, so that question is not going to be one that can be answered, unfortunately. I don't know what
null and void question.
I don't know
until further notice.
I don't know what that's about, by the way. Like, it's weird. Like, a lot of events don't let you talk about whether you're commentating or not. It's until they announce it. It's really funny.
Not sure either. Interesting, Nine. You are right.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have any other questions here. Like I said.
Okay. No, cool. No doubt.
But again, if you do have a longer conversation with your dad and he was like, "What's that about?" Please tell him I said thank you. So
I will. Yes, I will.
And then,
I will.
And then, of course, always, you know, give my love to Kat, give my love to Zato the dog as well. So
of course,
you know.
Of course. And thank you, James. Again, thanks for having me. Things like that. You know, I don't get to do this stuff that much often anymore. So it's always cool to do it. And even if it's things that I've spoken about 100 times, I always just like, I like talking about it, man. You know, it's part of my life. It's part of the scene. And like, I just appreciate having the opportunity to be able to talk to more people about it. So thanks for having me on, and thank you to the chat and everything like that. So.
I mean, again, dude, anytime you want to just jump back on and shoot the shit, I'm always down to do that. Again, you talked about, it's funny too, because obviously, like, we consider each other good friends. And the funny thing is, like, we really honestly have never, like, seen each other all that much. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Yeah, we see each other like twice a year, maybe.
Right.
And we spend what, like, an hour in each other's presence,
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
Like,
and
maybe.
And yet at the same time, you talked about this too, about the friends that you make in the FGC. Like, I have told you this, and you know this, so this is repeat information. But like, you're one of the people that I honestly would just like take a bullet for, dude. Like, honestly, because like I'm just like, dude, like. You're one of those people that like everyone who meets you instantly likes you. You know, that's how I feel in any case. So, you know.
But you know what, James? You're the same way, dude. No one is ever going to meet you and be like, I don't like this guy. Impossible.
I got a lot of people who hate me. Okay, I tell you right now. And actually,
impossible.
As Investigation Co mentioned in the chat, you did hate me too when you were watching me play Dark Souls. Okay, because I was bad.
I didn't hate you. Hate's a strong word. Hate, frustrated maybe, but hate, I don't know about hate.
Oh my god.
No, like James, I love you to death, dude. I'm again, the beautiful thing about fighting games is that, we can do this, and if it wasn't for that, I would not know who you were.
Exactly.
Like I've slept on, you've housed me, dude. You've taken care of me when I had nowhere to be.
Yes.
So like these are the things that fighting games have done, guys. And it's like it really is completely irreplaceable, man. It really is. Like the relationships and the experiences that we've had, like some of us, again, maybe not everyone, but like you could go to any state in the country and have a place to lay your head because of fighting games. Someone will be like, I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? You can go to Europe and someone will be like, I got you.
I mean, honestly, that's one of the craziest things for me is like, thanks to fighting games, I've had the ability to travel to so many different places. And
man, it's
not to try to get too political or whatever like that, but like the world often tries to teach us that everybody everywhere else is different than you are. And when I travel and meet all these fighting game players, you just find out how much everybody is exactly the goddamn same, dude. Yeah. Like, they're all just geeking out about fighting games the same way we're geeking out about fighting games. And it's one of the greatest, it's one of my favorite things, like, even though, I might not be financially secure right now and whatever, all this stuff, but if you ask me at that one moment where I got let go from my job, if I went back to that time and I had the opportunity to redo it and go back into work, I would say no, because honestly, the things that this has afforded me, being able to meet people around the world and stuff, and just really, it's very eye-opening to see this kind of situation. And like I said, for me, it's just been absolutely a blessing to be able to meet and really learn that, everybody just wants to have fun in their life, and that's just really what it comes down to. So
that's perfectly said. This just gave us an opportunity to be ourselves and meet people that were just like ourselves, and we've made lifelong lasting relationships, man. Lifelong lasting relationships. Wouldn't trade it for the world. And as you said, there's some things money can't buy, brother.
Absolutely.
Some things money cannot get you. So
okay, all right. Oh, that's right. If he comes out after Evo, actually one of the people in the chat and my other best friend might be over visiting, so I might not be able to join you on that stream, but we'll see what happens. But I mean, since one of them is here, he's probably like, no, do it anyway, I'll just watch, so we'll see what happens in any case. So
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
For sure. But thank you again for jumping on here, and thank you guys, everybody in the chat here for tuning in and watching. And I know some people were coming in here like, wait, you guys are not talking about Sagat, but like, again, when you get two of us who have been in the scene for so long, we just, we like to talk about a lot of this stuff, because it means so much to us. So there you go.
Exactly. And also it gives me, I never have an opportunity to talk like this. You know what I'm saying? So it gives me an opportunity to release a little bit, you know,
cool.
with things that
Okay.
are in my head. So yeah, man, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all. I'll definitely see you August 5th for sure. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I'm glad you said that. I always try to make sure like this is a good, nice, mature stream for FGC, you know, and I try my best for that. So there you go. All right. Well, I can't wait to see Sagat, and you know what? I want to see how you feel about it. Maybe I'll find you at Evo. You know, the first day.
I'll definitely see you at Evo.
Yeah. So the first
we'll
day.
See each other at Evo.
First day, you said you're gonna try to run and get there to see Sagat early. I'll see if I can get my ass up early if I don't have a block. Well, you know, theorizing if I'm commentating. You know, like you know, if I
maybe who knows?
If I can get there.
If I do though.
If I get there at the same time, maybe I'll just record you live, dude. Like I'll just like record you live if you don't mind. If you don't want that,
no,
you
dude.
know,
No, I don't, dude. No, honestly, my goal, honest to God, is I want the first video of Sagat that goes. It's not going to happen because someone from Capcom is going to do it.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I want to be in the first video for real.
All right.
And be like,
okay.
no.
Okay.
No one can post anything until I get to play him first. Then you can do whatever you want.
All right, I will do my best to make that happen. Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe, and take care.
Yeah, now you got it, of course. Good night, guys.
Peace. And I guess from my standpoint over here, I'm just going to go ahead and call it a night here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the fact that I have been trying to stream more often these days. So hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that. Keep me honest with that. Join my Discord, please. And let me just type in the Discord message over here. ! Discord. Obviously, for those of you in YouTube, you won't see that, but let me post that up over here. If you actually get a chance, please join this Discord and then keep me honest. Just be like, James, you promised to stream more, because that will get me to do it more. Because when I can't guilt myself well enough because of my ADHD, so, you know, I would appreciate the help out there. So let me see quickly before I call it a done. Let me see if there's anybody that I could raid out there. Let me see over here. Let's go see if there's anybody I can raid. And you guys can say hello to my cat. Oh, Tampa Never Sleeps is going. Let's go over and head over to watch some Tampa Never Sleeps. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Please tell everybody over there that I said hello and take care. And also, always remember, be excellent to each other. Remember that Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, women's lives and choices matter, Palestinian lives matter. Just like, let's be excellent to each other so we can all party on. I'll take care of you guys, and I will see you later. Peace. Oops. Oh, this is not working over here. Let me do something here. Hi, Nathan. Look at him. He knows when I'm ending my streams. He just knows. I don't know how he knows, but he knows. All right, here we go. All right, peace, guys.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!